kind of a thing in which it was going to be short. I knew it, Paulie knew it too. And maybe if we come back, we could talk about it. But then I had to shorten it. Loved ECW. When I came, Turnbuckle Championship Wrestling, okay? Dusty's place. So I was doing, Dream would say, hey, baby, if you will, would you come down and wrestle some shows? And then would you come and coach at my school when you can? I said, yes, sir. And so I did. And then I would go do some shows in Barry Windham. And, everyone wanted to go pay the legend the respect. So one day, Dusty said, hey, baby, let's go down and watch an ECW. They're at Center Stage. I'm like, they're in Atlanta? He's like, yeah. I said, I've only seen him every once in a while. I used to have my wife tape it every once in a while just to watch what was going on because, I never saw it. I would never seen it, home. I was always on the road and stuff. So when I got there, actually, Paul Lee and I got along very well, but Paul Lee hated my dad because my dad fired him. But my dad fired him because he was rigging the receipts. And my dad said, you are the smartest dumbass I've ever met. Like, you are such a mental, like, you have such good mental capacity, and I love you, but you must be bored because you do stupid stuff that I will not happen. So it's kind of a weird thing. And so I went down because Dream said, jump in the truck. I got some cold ones. Because I was leaving his school. I didn't even know ECW was in town. And we drove up, and all the next thing you know, there's Raven. I'd never met Dreamer, blah, blah, blah. But there's Raven. I knew Raven. And there's Paul Lee. Of course, I know Paul Lee. And Dreamer came up to me and goes, Erik Watts, what are you doing here? I'm like, well, Dream asked me. He goes, well, are you going to wrestle? I go, well, what the hell you mean am I going to wrestle? I said, I didn't even know guys were down. He goes, hey, tonight at the end of my match, can you come just beat the hell out of me and leave me laying in blood? I'm like, what are you talking about? I just came to say hi, but sure. And then the next thing you know, at the end of the show, they had me run in and beat the heck out of him. And so then Paulie was like, hey, man, I got to have you. And so I said, we can work out some stuff. So we talked about it and we worked some stuff out. And then what ended up happening is they would bring me in and then not work me because there was so much chaos in the back between Raven and Dreamer and Sandman that the territory was very small, meaning, it was very cool. It was but I'm saying it's not like Vince. The top 5 to 15 guys have Paulie's ear. So now these guys are cutting each other out from under. Who gets to wrestle Erik Watts? Listen, guys, I'm not making myself out to be that big a deal, but they're like, we all want to wrestle Erik. And it was perfect in ECW because I'm going to come in hated because of being Erik Watts, Cowboy Bill Watts' son. And so when I had already had a deal with Ted DiBiase had a federation that was coming up where we were doing the films and canning them. And I did not know this until we did a few weeks of film that he made me the champion. So when I went, I had to call Ted DiBiase and say, sir, you haven't sold these shows yet. I still need to stay on the road. And he said, let me talk to Paul Lee. So then we called Paul Lee. He said, Paul Lee, he cannot lose. And Paul Lee's like, well, we'll figure it out. And so he actually finally went to pay-per-view, didn't use me. Pay-per-view didn't use me. Now we're Philly for ECW. He did the old deal where I was in a trunk of a car and no one knew I was coming in. And that's when he came up and he said, we did a promo and the people were going crazy. And the kid that I love, the blonde kid that's so damn good, the Carino. No, right. No. Spike that beats everyone on the first match. So Paulie comes into me and goes, bro, this is just everyone, Cactus Jack, Austin, anyone that comes in has to be beat by him. I said, well, the deal between you and Ted DiBiase. And he goes, so what are we going to do about it? I said, you know what? Why don't we go out to do the match? And he walks in and does his shit, and they never ring the bell. And he goes, what? I go, I'm not a guy that's my ego. I'll job to the kid. I don't care. And he's like, and that's how they did it. And they had him, hit me and then 1, 2, 3. but it never counted because I never lost because the bell didn't ring. But later on, it became a situation as I got to know the guys, and I was very blessed on negotiating my agreements and contracts. I'm in business, guys, but some things started to happen where some of the guys that worked so hard weren't getting paid, and then so I kind of made a stand, and then I said this can't happen, and then all of a sudden, after a few of my like my last week, my check came in. It wasn't coming in. And I said, I'm not flying out to the pay-per-view, till everyone else is paid, and then me. So then we did some things, and then I got my money and I got my first class tickets, and then I didn't board the plane. I said, I'm sorry. I can't do it. I won't do it. Not for me, not for my family, which is very important. I don't, I've been around these guys for a short period, but they got guys there making $15, $20, setting up the ring and shooting themselves with staple guns and jumping off shit. Like if you can't pay them and take care of them, and again, I'm not throwing anything at anyone. Business is business. But man, Mick Foley, one time, he just paid all the boys one time. He paid all the boys. There was a time with WCW, something went on and some guys got crazy and broke a whole bunch of urinals in a bathroom, man. And there was a top wrestler that came in and said, put that on my American Express. They said it's 50,000. He goes, put it so it doesn't get back to the office. Like guys like that do that. That's the true thing. Let's stick together. Now we can take care of things in the back, right? We can take care of things in the dressing room, but we got to stick together. So that was a short run, but I wasn't ever going to be there long anyway. But man, I got to be honest with you, dude. I've never seen anything like it, man. I've never seen anything like it. Those guys gave their lives up, and me and people became good friends. And there's a few people that passed on, and I roomed with one of them right before they died, Sonny's husband, and man, there's some memories I can never do without.